Hello again! My name is Courtney Kuhn, and today I am doing something just a little bit different. I love making quilts, and whenever I make a quilt, it's usually for somebody else, or it's for something that stands for some type of memory or event that's happening. So what I'm going to do that's a little different is I'm going to do a little bit of quilt history with you today. So I've made many quilts. Like when I say many, I've made many. Not as many as some people I know who have huge wardrobes full of quilts, but I have made a lot. And so the first one I'm going to talk about, which is what this video is going to circulate around, is my first quilt that I ever made. And it's not a quilt that someone is currently using or that someone is currently cuddled up with or using for warmth. It's actually a quilt that I designed and made to hang on a wall. I don't know if it's currently hanging up or if they even still have it, but it was my first quilt and that's what I'm going to show you. So you can't really tell in the picture, and I'm sorry that it's a very poor quality picture. I made this like 10 years ago, and so cameras back then were not like they are today. But I made this for my church, and I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we call the youth group Young Women's and Young Men's. So as they're separated at church, the young women, ages 12 to 18, will meet together, and the young men, ages 12 to 18, will meet in a separate room together. And we just learn about basically our identities as young men and young women and the things that, we're to do in the world when we get older. And it's a wonderful program. I loved it growing up. I absolutely adored going to these youth activities. And something with the Young Women's is they have what are called values. And these values are faith, divine nature, individual worth, knowledge, choice and accountability, good works, integrity, and virtue. And these values are the values that we believe that each young woman should have and work on before they become an adult. That way they can go through life using these values to help others, to be a self-sustaining woman in the world, to be a good mother, a good wife, basically to be a good person in general. And each of these values have an accompanying color. And each color, represents each value. And so what I did was I decided to make a quilt to hang on the wall in the young women's room of our church so that these values could shine and be seen. And it was something that was handmade by one of the young women. So as you can see in the picture, there's many different colors in this quilt. So starting from white going until the gold-ish color, it goes faith, white, divine nature, blue, individual worth, red, knowledge, green, choice and accountability, orange, good works, yellow, integrity, purple, and then gold, virtue. I could go into more depth of what these values really mean, why the colors are the way the colors are, and things like that. But right now I'm just explaining to you why I chose to make this quilt and why I made the choices I did. And so these colors all represent the values, and I actually used scrap fabric, so it was really easy to make. And this quilt for the wall only really is about 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. You might be wondering what the quote in the middle stands for. And sorry if you can't read it either because of the picture quality. Again, I am so sorry. But it says, "Stand for truth and righteousness." The meaning behind this quote, and the reason why I put it on here, is because the whole Young Women's organization of the church has this motto, "Stand for truth and righteousness." It means to stand for truth and righteousness in all places and in all things. And it's a really great motto to have to remind young women that no matter what, you stand for truth and you stand for righteousness. Now, if you look towards the top, it's a little cut off, so sorry, but there are 2 loops at the very top. These loops are for the purpose of hanging up the actual quilt. So they could either use a rod or they could just put 2 push pins into each of the loops. For the center, I actually just took one of those iron-on sheets that you just buy at the store, print out whatever you want, and then just iron it on. It was super easy, super simple, and I wish I knew embroidery at this time so that it would look really cute and be really fun, but this was a talent that actually came later, so that's why I used an iron-on transfer page. I'm really happy with the way this quilt turned out. It was one of my favorites, and I really wish I knew what had happened to this quilt. I wish I knew if it was hanging on the wall or, you know, just not in the back of a closet or even tossed aside. That would make me so sad. But, you know, it happens. It happens. You never know if you give someone something you made, what's going to happen to it. But it's a good memory to have and a good, you know, show of my faith. And you don't have to believe the same things I do to appreciate the creativity that went into this quilt. Like I said before, I love making quilts, and I'm so excited to be doing this YouTube channel because I know there's some quilts that I'm going to be making here soon, and I'm really excited to get them on video and show you how to make them, because contrary to what most people believe, making quilts is actually pretty easy, especially the way I do it. Thank you so much, you guys. I have so many more videos coming out. I have so many more ideas of things I want to show you and teach you and help you to understand. Please like and subscribe below, and if you'd like to follow me on my social media, I am at Courtney V Smiles, both on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye!